So you made it to the end of the video and to question number 12. So there's this thing going around the internet, top 10 RV challenge questions, and we got called out by Live and Learn RV with Smokey and Jesse, and we're also called out by Mile Marker Next with Brian and Patty. Pretty cool channels. So if this is your first time here, I'm Chris.
I'm Lisa.
And we got our two poodles. That's Anna the banana, and that's Tara. Want to say hi? Did you say hi? We travel around part-time, go to a lot of cool places all over the country. Right now we're in Central Florida. This is like January 6th, I think. A little chilly this morning, especially for Florida. But in a day or two, it'll be back to 80. So we'll get on to question number 1, which is, what would you change about your RV? What would you change?
Oh, nothing. I'm quite happy with our RV.
We've got a 1995 diesel that's called a Ferron as a manufacturer. they were in business for like 3 years or something, from what I understand. So getting parts is always a challenge, but it's supposed to have a really good engine. The Cummins 8.3. Only thing I would change is a little bit bigger shower. So our unit's kind of unique, as it doesn't have any slides, but the way they configured the bathroom was pretty incredible. The way the doors open up and it absorbs the hallway, so you have a big bathroom without any slides. So it's pretty cool. Shut that door over, and that blocks off the hallway, and then this door here shuts over. So then your bathroom is essentially absorbs the closet area, so you end up with a big bathroom without having a slide out. Question number 2 is, name something that you didn't expect with your first RV. Now for us, we're on our second RV. Our first RV was a Class C, or the one we have now is a Class A. I'd say the thing that we did not expect, or I didn't expect, was how much we would enjoy it. We bought a cheaper used RV that needed a lot of work. I didn't want to invest a whole bunch of money into a RV at first, because I didn't know how much we were going to enjoy it. But it turns out that we enjoyed it quite a bit. So what is something that you didn't expect, Lisa?
How much the dogs would enjoy it.
Yeah.
They really adapted really well to our first RV. And the other thing, I think just washing dishes, we filled up our grate the first night. We didn't expect that.
Forgot about that. Yeah, water conservation, especially when you're not hooked up to a sewer. So, yeah. You don't have as much storage capacity as you'd think, so you learn to save water. Okay, question number 3 is, what was the deciding factor on purchasing your first RV? Before we get there, look at this trowel. Look how nice this is. Just a real nice park. Florida has a lot of really good state parks. So if you get a chance to come to Central Florida, they got a bunch of springs, really cool.
And this is Gemini Springs State Park.
Yeah, Gemini Springs State Park. So the deciding factor for me on getting the first RV, again, was cost. And we were going to rent one, and then the cost of renting one, I mean, the per day cost isn't that bad, but they kill you with the mileage. So, and then when you got, on top of it, you still got to pay for your campground and your fuel and everything. We were going to do a trip up to Pennsylvania, and it was going to cost an exorbitant amount. So I figured, let's just buy a cheap RV on Craigslist, and if we liked it, we'd keep it, and if we didn't like it after the trip, we would sell it and recoup some, or not, if not all, our money. So that's what we did. What about you?
I was just along for the ride. Yeah, you said, I'm going to go buy an RV. Do you want to come? I was like, yes.
So literally along just for the ride. Okay, question number 4 is, what's your favorite meal to cook in the RV? And mine's going to be anything on the grill outside. We enjoy sitting outside, enjoying the outdoors. And I enjoy sitting there and cooking stuff on the grill, so it doesn't really matter as long as I'm doing it outside on the grill. I've made whole meals on the grill, and then between that and the camp stove, and then if Lisa's making a meal and she needs something grilled up, I'll grill up the stuff outside and bring it in for her to finish cooking or whatnot. But what's your favorite meal?
I like to cook chili.
Yeah, it's really appropriate when it's cold out, which, by the way, even though we're in Central Florida, it's in the 40s this morning, so it's a little nippy. Question number 5 is, what is your ultimate RV destination? And it's kind of a coincidental question because it's 2020, beginning of 2020. We're doing Alaska for 2020, so that's our ultimate destination that we really would like to see, is Alaska. Now, we're in Florida. You can't get much further from Alaska than Florida. Question number 7 is, what's your least favorite thing about RVing? And I gotta say, especially if you guys RV, that you'll understand this, is the reservation system. So here's the deal. If you make a reservation at a campground and for some reason you get caught in a traffic jam, or for any other reason you don't make it to that destination, you generally lose your first night's, they call it a deposit, but basically you pay for the first night on your reservation. So if you're just traveling and you're just staying one night, you just lost it. So that's the most frustrating thing, because we don't know exactly how far we're going to get that day, and I'm always worried about just, wasting money. So that's the most frustrating thing for me. What about you?
I think how spotty the Wi-Fi coverage is.
Yeah, that's a good one. A lot of these campgrounds are like, yeah, Wi-Fi. And yeah, they got a Wi-Fi signal. You can connect, but it doesn't go anywhere. They always blame it on there's so many people in the campground. And we've been in campgrounds where there's only like 3 people and the Wi-Fi didn't work. So campgrounds need to upgrade their Wi-Fi, especially when we're on the road and we need to keep connected for work. Question number 8 is, what would you have, a must-have item in your next RV? I guess mine would probably be more bay storage. I'm pretty self-sufficient, so I'd like to bring a few more things as far as tools go, especially like on this trip to Alaska. I got to be real strategic on what we're going to be packing. There's a lot of planning to do. 15,000 miles is what I'm guessing that this trip's going to be before we get back to our home base. And what about you, Lisa?
Probably more counter space in the kitchen.
Yeah, that is one thing. Most RVs don't have a whole lot of countertop space for meal prep and stuff, especially if you're traveling full-time in it, or you're gone for, like we are, a month plus. Okay, question number 9 is, what's your favorite adult beverage for the RV? It's kind of a weird question, but ours would be, I guess, stopping at like breweries or picking up a local beer and trying it from a different part of the country where we can't get it in Florida, back in our home base. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't know if it doesn't make it over the Mississippi River or whatnot, but certain beers don't get out of certain states or in certain areas, so it's pretty cool to sample something that you can't get here in Florida. Is it for you, Terry? You want some beer? What about you?
I'm not that much of a drinker, but I do like an occasional Corona Light, especially with Mexican food.
Yeah, so there you go. The number 10 question is, what's your favorite indoor accessory in the RV? And I'd have to say, when it works, would be the Wi-Fi Ranger. We have had times when it has picked up Wi-Fi from almost a mile away, if not further. So when that thing does work, it's handy. And the other thing that I like is the electric water heater. Our first RV didn't have the electric gas water heater, just was propane. And this one's electric and gas. So it's nice to, when you're hooked up, to not use your propane. We just filled up in Texas. That was the first time in 3 years. Having that has saved us some money in propane. What about you, Lisa?
Mine is our Flex Steel Ultra Leather seats. But yeah, this one, they both spin around. This one actually has a footrest.
No,
Yeah.
John, changes out my truck seat.
Oh.
Yeah. And this is how I would drive, and I can only imagine the comments, right? I'd be petting a dog and driving like this. Trish.
Yeah, those things are comfy.
Our first RV had really sad foam seats that were 20 years old, and we reupholstered them, and they felt like 20-year-old seats. And so we went to the Tampa RV show and sat in all the different seats you could buy and ordered these wonderful seats that make driving much more comfortable. And even in the evenings when we come back in the RV, they're comfortable to sit in then as well. So that's my favorite.
That was definitely a good improvement that we did. So that was the top 10 RV challenge. I'm going to ask one more question, and that is, would you do it again if you had to do it over? And my answer is absolutely. Wouldn't you?
Yes, of course.
Look at all the wonderful places that we've got to see over the last 6 years.
What? Come on. You know you've seen a dog talk before?
Alright, as you're out here in the salt basin, here at Badwater Basin, the road's closed. They got work to do. We got more videos to make, so thanks, Mark.
Thank you. Yeah, good to see you.
Goodbye! Mountains right there. Burned through the mountains and came over to here.
It does look like that.
But you can see the different colors from this angle here. Is there one on my head?
Take a selfie there.
There we go. See what I mean? I mean, we've been really fortunate to be able to go see and experience many cool places. So then the RV has definitely given us the opportunity to do that with our own refrigerator, our own food, our own bed at night, and our own bathroom. So,
And bringing our dogs along.
yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons our channel's named Camp More Bark Less, because having the RV has allowed us to explore and play and connect with others, as friends as well as new people, and relax and just enjoy life more.
Yeah, and we get to do it with our dogs, so we don't have to board them or anything, so it's pretty cool. So I'd like to go ahead and, as you're supposed to do at the end of these videos, you got to call out other people and pass the buck, so to speak, down to somebody else. So I want to call out Kathy and John from Inspired We Go. You've been challenged. So add the number 11th question again. They're going to be quite interesting, a little different perspective because they travel full-time. And I'm also going to call out Todd and Stephanie from Two Beards and a Babe. And they're a little bit different because they're part-time, but they use their RV for work also. It's like work destinations are sometimes work and sometimes play. So you guys have been called out also. And if you want to follow us along, right now, it's the beginning of January, we're preparing and trying to get things in order for going to Alaska. So 2020 is going to be an interesting year. And we've got lots of other videos on there about other RV trips across the US and destinations. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe and follow us along. Appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next video, which is Mayberry in video time. So you made it to the end of the video and to question number 12. Okay. Question number 12 is some of the things that you've changed the most since you started RVing until the present day. And I think mine is grills. We started off with no grill, and we were just going to rely on, I bought, charcoal and stuff, and we're going to rely on campground grills. And then we quickly found out you don't get a charcoal grill at every campsite. most of the state parks, those type, you get that, you know, park grill thing. But a lot of the private ones, you know, you don't get even a fire ring or something on a lot of them. But so we've evolved from, you know, gas grill. Then I bought a charcoal, like a tripod cooker thing that if you did have like a fire ring with no grate over it, you could at least get a fire going in that and then cook with put the tripod thing over top of it and cook on that. And then the latest thing we did is a single burner Blackstone, which we love that thing. So what about you, Lisa?
Mine was getting the dogs situated. We got fencing, and then we had to get baby gates because Emma would crawl under the camper to go visit people or explore. And then we just got some carbiners because on short trips the fencing was a pain in the butt to set up. So then we just would tie the dogs to our chairs. And we've had outdoor beds and outdoor mats to try to keep them clean. But it's really more about if we're going to stay somewhere for a couple of weeks, then the fencing's a really good idea. If we are just going to do short stays or short in each campground, then the leashes work better for us.
Yeah, that's a good point. Setting up the fence is really good because we don't have to have the dogs tied up and they can walk around without getting their leash tied around everything. But there is a factor of setting it up, and our setup of our campsite has definitely changed over the years. I remember when we first went out, we hooked everything up and set everything out, and then slowly we evolved. We don't have to do that. You don't use everything at every time you stop. For example, is, you know, you see everybody and you see all these YouTube videos on how to set up your campsite. Well, you don't always have to hook up your sewer. You know, we can go, you know, an extra day or two, even though we took showers and stuff, and get to the next campsite and dump. So I don't hook the sewer up immediately when we get there. I only hook it up if I'm just going to dump the tanks and then move on. And we don't always hook up the water also because we have onboard water. You just turn on the pump. So if it's just a quick overnight stop, sometimes we just plug in, you know, back end level it and just plug the power in and we're good to go. Appreciate you sticking around to the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you on the next one, which, like I said, is Mayberry.